Hi, this is Kimberly from Are You Awakening? Are you enjoying your quarantine? I love it. So what's it doing for you? Is it making you go within and deal with some stuff? That's the purpose of this, not just for you, but for the whole collective, is for us to slow down, go within, find out who we are, Right, so you know all that. I want to talk to you today about what I call the clearing trap. And what that is when you go through so much clearing and so much processing that you start to think, is this all there is? Is this me forever? Right? So you get into a pattern of always healing, always clearing, always in a crisis. Yeah, well, I mean, that's been the MO of Earth for 500,000 years, and so big surprise that it's happening to you. But all that is changing, all right? So I want to bring to your attention this trap so that if you find yourself repeating old patterns, that you can maybe call it to your attention that, oh, did I fall in the trap? Okay? So what is this trap? The trap is when you're going along great, you're feeling good, you're starting to have some confidence in yourself, feel like you've gotten over the hump maybe of clearing the major problems in your life, and then all of a sudden you wake up one morning and you are in the depths of hell. Like nothing goes right. Little tiny things that didn't bother you yesterday all of a sudden are monumental. And I'll give you an example of one that happened to me recently. Was I just woke up one day and I just started bawling about my hair. I look at my hair every day. It was the same almost as it was yesterday, but all of a sudden it was the end of my life. I'm ugly, I'm fat, I can't go out in public like this because I don't know what color my hair is. And I mean, just add on all the crap that you would add on. And all of a sudden, I'm in the depths of hell. What? So what happened is there was a trigger that brought my vibration down. And there's a larger part of me who knows exactly what's going on. You've been through the hair thing, you know that there's transitions going on. And so we look a little deeper into it, and beyond the trigger, there's something else. Okay? So what is that something else? What that something else is a test. Tests. You're never getting away from them, my friend. That's why you're here on Earth, is to learn. And how do you learn if you've learned unless you test? So what happened for me is, although I was crumpled on the floor crying about my hair, I was really testing myself to see how I manage my energy. Okay, so I got down into my spiraling depths of hell, and nothing in the world looks the same when you're down there, right? Oh my gosh, not only is this wrong, but then this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. And this is how your thoughts start breeding other thoughts of similar vibration. Okay? So this is you testing you. Are you able to see a thought, evaluate it, and change from it? Or are you just going to keep creating more thoughts of the same vibration? Okay? So you are clearing for not only yourself right now, but also for the collective. And there's a lot of people in the collective that are dealing with gigantic issues. Well beyond hair, right? Survival. Am I going to catch this virus and die? What happens if this thing infiltrates me and I have no control? So you've got the victimhood going on. You've got all these things going on. You're clearing not only your little stuff, but that. What this really is in the long run is it's testing you managing your energy, but you as a light worker are also a leader, and you're testing your leadership skills. okay? It's really hard to see this when you're down in the depths because you're looking at the world from that lower perspective where things go wrong, where things happen to you, where blame occurs, where your worth is plummeting, where you're not lovable, and all of these things come back to you from external stimuli, challenging you on what you really believe about yourself, okay? So you're testing yourself on this, and you're also learning how to recognize a test. Because when you get out there in the world, you're going to get this stuff coming from people. You're going to get people who are viewing the world from a lower perspective. And I don't mean that these people are lower. They're just viewing it from a lower perspective. They're viewing it from the idea that they are a victim or that they are susceptible. They're not realizing that they're creating this for themselves. Okay? There's nothing wrong with that. We all, almost all of us, came into this world not remembering that we're creating, okay? So you as a light worker, you're early, you're starting to realize that you're this creator, okay? And you, when you're stuck in your home like you are, okay, well, you have some time to look at it, and you also have some time to recognize yourself as the creator. Now, those people who are out there may not know that, and so they're going to be viewing the world from a very different perspective, and they're going to talk to you from that perspective, okay? So this is your chance to recognize, how am I going to answer back? Am I going to fall down there with them and view the world the way they do? Or am I going to answer them from the higher perspective of taking responsibility for your creations? Yeah? Let me give you an example. So yesterday I had a meltdown about my hair. I decided to put myself to bed very early just to get the heck out of that vibration. And everything was fine. Right before I woke up, I had a dream. And the dream was that my beloved purple truck from years ago was stolen. Now, oh my gosh, my beloved truck was stolen. Here I am in the dream, and I'm trying to find a phone, and I'm trying to call the police to tell them that my beloved truck was stolen, and nobody was helping me, and I was screaming at people, and why aren't you, this is important to me, why aren't you paying attention to me, etc., etc., etc. Finally, I end up at a hotel, and the hotel desk guy sends me to the police, and what happens? They put me on hold. And I'm waiting, and I'm waiting, and I'm fuming, and I'm getting angrier, and I'm getting angrier, and I'm on hold, and then I wake myself up. So I wake myself up because I realize that I'm never going to stop being on hold. It's so important to me to get that attention, to get my truck back, to get someone to pay attention to me, that nobody else mattered. So what I did was I gave myself a self-test. How are you going to react in a situation like this? You're down here, someone steals your truck. Now, how likely is that to happen? Probably not all that likely. Once you live a life of safety, as you do when you're creating your reality, you stop looking at things going wrong for you and you start saying everything goes right for me, it's very unlikely that my truck would be stolen, okay? If my thoughts are creating and I'm creating safety with my thoughts, then I'm going to see safety back, okay? So that's how I knew that this was a test. It sent me back down there. What do you do? What do you do if your car gets stolen? What do you do if your truck gets stolen? Do you solve the problem? Or do you freak out and scream at everybody that they need to take care of you right away? Huh? So it was really a lesson in leadership for sure. Also a lesson in humility for sure. Huh? And I fell into the trap of letting those lower vibrational thoughts get in and breed. And when they breed, then that's when you start seeing those things come back to you in the physical, okay? And so the benefit that I was given was I was given this in a dream. I got to play this out without it ever having to happen in the physical, okay? So I want you to recognize if you start having such dreams or you start having visualizations of things going very wrong, look at it as a test. Don't look at it as, holy crap, I've gone backwards. I've fallen backwards to my old ways. This evolution stuff doesn't work. You never fall backwards, okay? You may look back, but you don't fall back. It's a very big difference, right? So, what happens when you get into this thing? So yesterday when I'm crying about my hair, what did I do? And well, first I put myself to sleep, which is always an okay thing to do because you will solve your problems as you sleep, especially if you use intent before you go to sleep and say, all right, the small part of me just doesn't know what the hell to do with this. So I'm gonna leave it up to myself, my higher self, and I'm gonna figure it out. In addition, when you have this happen to you, I want you to do something. I want you to separate your feeling from the thought. Now, what does that mean? So, I'm down in the depths, my hair looks horrible, I'm crying. Stop it right there and look at what I've done. I have thoughts about my hair being like a calico cat with purple stuck in it that won't go away, and I'm feeling like I need to cry. I'm feeling desolation. All right? Now, I keep thinking, I keep feeling. I keep thinking, I keep feeling. I want you to separate those. And I want you to just feel. Okay? The thought loop will go on and on and on if you let it. But you can quiet that down and you can feel the feeling, the desperation, the frustration, whatever that is, just feel it. And when your mind starts to want to talk about it, wow, this is horrible and this is worse and look what else is wrong, I want you to say, you know what, it's going to be okay. This sucks right now. I'm stuck somewhere and it really sucks and I'm just going to cry it out, but I'm not going to keep myself in that thought pattern because when I do, that's when things turn into form. All right? So if you can remind yourself that you're giving yourself a test to see how far you've come, you remind yourself that perhaps there are traps that you could fall in that you send to you, okay? That's the difference, is that you're not a victim. You're sending it to yourself to test. And it can be this big gigantic thing or it can be a reminder. It's entirely up to you, all right? So looking at these things from the perspective of merely ideas that you're having and feelings that are associated with them makes it a little bit easier to recognize the whole scenario. And so as a reminder, if you find yourself falling into the basement, as I call it, ask yourself, what are my thought patterns? What am I thinking? Okay. Is it a positive thought? Probably not. Is it a negative thought that's breeding more thoughts? Probably. And can you stop it? And you can stop it by feeling the feeling involved with it and quieting down those negative thoughts. Okay? So, if you get into a clearing trap, you've got your tools now. You can recognize where you are. Put yourself to sleep. Separate your feelings from your thoughts. When you wake up in the morning, then chances are you're going to look back and say, oh my God, did I pass that test or did I fail it? Right? I failed my test screaming at the poor hotel guy to get me through to the police, and I recognized it. But officially it's not a failure because I recognize the lesson behind it. Right? If you don't recognize the lesson behind it, you can expect more until you do recognize the lesson behind it. Okay, so hopefully you don't fall into too many traps, but know that it is going on right around now as we're helping the collective heal. Okay, it is very prevalent. I've got reports from quite a few people going through similar things. And remember that you are creating your reality. You are sending yourself these tests. You are not a victim unless you decide that you are. And you are a leader, or you wouldn't be watching me right now. Okay, my friends, I'm going to let you go and remind you that you are deeply loved. And don't forget, always be yourself, no matter what your hair looks like, all the time. Love.